Thank you so much for joining us here. It's been an honor to share this time with you. And as we wrap it up, we want to talk about 5 themes that have emerged: confidence, faith, process, good times, and the art of trying. First, there's confidence. It'll happen for you. If you don't get anything else from this series of videos, we hope that you're left with a feeling that you too can have a musical classroom. You can be a more musical person. You can integrate music making into your life. As your practice grows, you and everyone around you will be better for it. This is a human endeavor, and even though we may not live in a wildly musical society right now, we all can help move things along in that direction.
We perform regularly. It's a big part of what we do. And I can speak for both of us on this. We always get nervous before shows. We were talking with someone the other day who's surprised to hear this. In her mind, nervousness was something to overcome. And she assumed that since we were professional musicians, we would have moved past that. But no. As we were talking to her about it, we came to the realization the nerves were a sign that we cared. Anytime we make music with other people, there's quite a bit of uncertainty. That's exciting. And in that excitement, there's also the sense that things could go completely off the rails.
So at this point, because we've been doing this for a while, along with our nervousness, we have confidence. Confidence that we know what we're doing, and although we're apprehensive, we trust that the spirit of the universe will guide us. The more we do it, the more we see that this is always the case. So if you feel nervous going into your classroom with some fresh musical ideas, remember your confidence. You've put in some time and you're ready to try some things. We like to remind ourselves before each show that we're here to give, not to take. If we're there to give, the outcomes aren't really our business. Our job is to show up and offer the best of what we have, to put our hearts into it completely and turn over the results.
Let's go on to our second theme, faith. The kind of faith we're talking about is a belief in the power of music and the arts. A deep, unshakable feeling that bringing more music into the classroom will raise the energetic level of that classroom and open more educational doors for the young people that we all serve. And here's where there might be some similarities between performing and teaching. If during a show, we're looking into the audience, expecting everyone to be smiling, clapping, singing along, and generally showing us that they're having a great time, we're there with some totally unrealistic expectations. People experience music in many different ways, and it's very difficult to know who's getting what. I used to work at a summer camp in New Hampshire when I was a teenager. There were a number of incredible folk singers who came through, legendary musicians, as I found out later. When they would lead the sing-alongs each day, my friend Mike and I would sit in the back and smirk. They're so earnest and serious. There's no way we're gonna participate. We're beyond all this because we listen to rock and roll. Years later, I realized that these earnest folk singers completely changed my life. Whether I could appreciate it at the time or not, they introduced me to communal music making, social music. I was too uptight back then to let myself get into it, but the music and the spirit of it got into me. Seeds were planted. We believe that's going to happen in your classroom. Your students will have musical experiences that will resonate for many, many years. They may not always love the songs or the activities, but we know without a doubt, when music is brought to young people, lives can change. And you may never know who it is that's getting the most out of what you're offering.
And so we have faith today that regardless of the way young people express their engagement, music making is a necessary and precious human experience. And you are doing them a tremendous service when you actively integrate it into your class culture. Which brings us to process. Please remember that it's all process. Regardless of where we are today, we all started with no experience. We weren't born with musical understanding, but along the way we started, or we're starting now. And we're learning, growing, evolving as we go. There's no end point for any of us. There is a beginning, and if you haven't yet explored how you too can be a music maker and bring music to your classroom as a way to enhance what you're already doing, we encourage you to join this wild, woolly, worldwide community. You don't have to do it alone. You have friends, family members, colleagues, and of course you have us.
And now we're at good times. When I started playing music for young people almost 30 years ago, I was very determined that I would bring something unique and meaningful to these kids. There would be messages and inspiration There'd be aspects of the music that would change their lives. I was telling this to an older musician who had been in the game for decades. He gave me some advice that was pure gold. It's gotta be fun, or what's the point? Young folks have a very wide emotional range, and it's not gonna be circus life all day, every day, of course. So, fun all the time isn't necessary or realistic, but his message was solid. The biggest entry point is good times, and without the fun, many people aren't likely to find their way to what we're all offering.
The final theme we want to mention is the art of trying. We've been learning to speak and understand Mexican Spanish this year. There's so much to it. We feel like beginners every day. We are beginners every day, but every day we're trying and we're improving, taking lessons, reading books, watching videos, listening to podcasts, flashcards, all of it. But the thing that helps synthesize everything is trying to hold conversation, trying to use what we know in the real world. We have to be vulnerable and willing to make mistakes. It's not natural for us. We'd like to be a little farther along, intermediate at least. And when we shift our perspective and embrace the art of trying, we get much further. It's more fun. We celebrate our progress instead of fixating on how much more there is to learn. And we connect with other people in a more meaningful way. If we bring this spirit into the classroom, not only will the students have musical experiences, they'll get to see an adult going out on a limb. They'll see an example of the art of trying. Can we leave you with one more thought? If we wait until we're ready to start making a more musical classroom, we're likely to be waiting 200 years. This is your time right now. Take the simplest activities here and use them as a starting point and build from there. You've done so many harder things in your life. You made it through grade school, through high school. You found a way to get some higher education. You became an educator. Compared to all of that, this will be easy. And remember, you don't have to do any of this musical exploration alone. Build your community, share songs and stories, what worked and what didn't with friends and colleagues. Have musical gatherings in the park or in your kitchen. You'll start to hear everything around you in a richer, more meaningful way. There's no limit to what a musical life can look like. We look forward to hearing all about it. So thank you again for joining us. This has been an inspiring experience, and the real adventure starts now as we all play together and create a more musical world.